Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Grow Your Tutoring Business podcast. Today we're going to be focusing on building your strategy or creating your strategy for 2023. Before we get into any of that, it's important that we understand what strategy is, why it's important, and what else is intertwined within our strategy to make sure that it's successful. Carry on listening and you're going to find out. I think that strategy gets I think that there's a misconception with strategy, and we think that if we create a plan for our business, that's the strategy. But there is a difference between just having a plan and putting a strategy in place, and that's what I want to explore today. That I don't believe that you have to be particularly business minded to come up with a good strategy or vision for your business, because we're all driven by different things. Like, some of us will have a vision board, and on our vision board will be the things we want to achieve, and sometimes even the reasons why we want to achieve them. So if yours is a financial target, you might have a reason to reach that financial target. Like, for example, it could be a holiday, it could be a new car, it could be to have more money so you can get leverage more, a bigger mortgage, to have a bigger and better house or more land. It doesn't matter what your vision is, as long as you have one. And that's where a good strategy is born. It's from the vision that we want for our business, and then it's related to the reasons why we want to do it. If you don't have a strong why, it's really hard to stay motivated. It's really hard to get up every day and deal with like I call them the admin tasks, because I don't like the admin. I know there will be admin lovers out there who love that part of it, but for me, I want to make sure I can create a business where I can perhaps have someone else do the admin, or reduce the admin so it's virtually zero in my business, which I know is almost impossible, but you can definitely reduce it, right? So my vision was, what systems can I buy in, or what systems can I deploy to reduce this pain point of my business, and I'm willing to pay, so that the things I hate doing are taken off the table, or at least reduced so significantly that it doesn't bother me anymore. I have a financial vision for my business, but I also have a vision around how many children I want to support, or how many in my tutoring business, but also a vision about employing others, and a vision about growing the tutoring coaching business into a bigger thing, into something that's much more. So I have a vision about the financials in my business. I have a vision about employing people. I have a vision around growing the coaching business and the training development arm of my business and my tutoring, in my tutoring world. I have a vision for all of these things about where I want them to be in 12 months from now. And that's where I want to start with us. If you're a new tutoring business, or perhaps you've been going for 2 or 3 years and you're doing relatively well, and you haven't really had to get this organized before, but perhaps like you're ready to take your business to the next level and you've been thinking about it for a while, I want you to think of like the biggest achievement that you could make in your business within the next 12 months. And I want you to dream really big. Now, the reason I want you to dream really big is because the bigger the goal, the more motivation we're going to have to get up and go and get it. And that's what I want for all of us. So what is your vision? Take some time now, like pause this and just spend the next 5 minutes and just put vision 2023 or vision December 2023. What does your business look like? I tend to use financials. I'm okay with that. I might also put in there, how many children am I working with? How many hours a week am I working? Have I got any other employees doing something in the business? Those kind of things. But I mean, I tend to really use financials because they're easy to measure. So it could be something like December 2023, the business has a recurring income of X amount. Or I've got one tutor that is developing a GCSE maths course, or I've got one tutor developing a GCSE English course. I've got a reach of X amount of tutors in my tutoring group. I've got an engaged audience. I'm selling X amount of courses every quarter. So you can see like my vision starts with my tutoring, it goes to employment, and it goes to my coaching and training and development business, because they're the things I want to focus on. What are you going to focus on? What is it that you need to achieve in a year's December 2023, that you can look back on and go, yes, I did it. That would be amazing if I reached that point. Once you've got your vision, you're now giving yourself a number of months to achieve it. Now this is strategy now. So your vision sits at the top of everything. Then you move into the strategy. Let's say you've got 12 months. I know it's slightly more than that because we're just reaching November. So 13 months. So you essentially have 13 checkpoints along the way to your vision and your goal. What is it that you can do in the next 4 weeks that helps you take a step or half a step towards the vision in December? And then write those things down. And it could be bullet points. So it could be November, bullet point number 1. Create social media posts. Create 4 ideas for social media. I'm going to create 4 sales posts. I'm going to create 8 educational posts. I'm going to create 12 value posts. And so you're going to come up with like a bit of a ratio. Like you're not just going to go into social media and sell. You want to build people into a funnel of, can they get to know you? Can they get to like you? Will they trust you enough to buy at the right time? And so you're developing a strategy for social media. It could be that you're not even on social media, that you're just like, well, I don't really do that on social media, but I have got really good links with local schools, so I'm going to message them. So your strategy is up to you and what works for your business. But that first bit, what are you going to do in that first 4 weeks to help you take a step towards your bigger goal? Now, it could be in the second month that you look at what space you have in your business to grow. Have you got any more hours to give? Can you change some of your hours from 1-to-1 to 1-to-many so you can increase your hourly rate? Just depending on what your vision is, it does depend on how you change your strategy along the way, because if you're just fully 1-to-1 and that's what you want to do, perhaps you need to look at your pricing structure and you need to adapt your pricing structure over the next 13 months towards December 2023. But as you go through, you can go November and you've got your bullet points. December, what are you going to do in December? And you've got your bullet points. And then in the new year, in January, what are you going to do? And so what you've got are these set checkpoints that should very gradually go towards your big vision for December 2023. And by just starting where you want to end, which is how we would do our own planning in school, wouldn't it? Like if you're doing a writing series of lessons, right, and you're going to go to a big write at some point. We used to call them big write in our school. And I know there's different, like it's golden writes, isn't there, or cold writes, those kind of things. You have like this set stage at the end where you're going to do 3 weeks worth of input, and then you get to your main piece of writing. What you do is you start with your main piece of writing and work back. What is it that we need to see in this writing? And we break it down into 15 sessions. And then your 15 sessions, they build over time until you get to your big write and the children are able to access it, all their previous learning to help them with their writing. Your business is the same. We just want to know where our vision is and we want to step it back. And so we know all the steps up to where we want to be. And we can change, like our vision isn't set in stone, it's up to you. Perhaps you've completely underestimated what you could achieve. And the vision that you set for December 2023, now you're getting organised with your strategy and then your tactics, your day-to-day tactics. Now you're able to accelerate your growth and perhaps you've reached your target within 6 months. So you have to have reality checks along the way, because also the opposite could be true, that perhaps you've set your dreams so high that you're not quite able to reach it at this point. But you can just put it back by 6 months, reassess your strategy and go again. And we can be kind to ourselves. We don't have to be harsh. We don't have to have the stresses of business push us to the point where we're working 12, 13, 14-hour days just to reach them. And I advise not to do that. If you've left teaching, we don't then want to replace that teacher workload and stress with our own business. Okay, we don't want to go from one stressful situation into another. So we want to protect and have boundaries. So our strategy sits just underneath the vision, and we have checkpoints that should lead us all the way to the vision. Once we've finished with our strategy and our bullet points for each month and each checkpoint, then we can look at the day-to-day tactics. So let's just choose November and just use my example of having a social media plan. So my bullet points in November say, I'm going to create 4 sales posts, 12 education posts, and about 5 value posts. Now my day-to-day tactics is I'm gonna go deeper into each of those. What are my sales posts gonna look like? When am I gonna post them? Are they gonna be video? Are they gonna be text? Am I gonna use images? Where am I gonna get the images from? What am I gonna use to record them? What time of day have I got spare to record and create these posts? If it's a value post, how can I give value to my audience? What is the value that I'm gonna give without giving away the business? And if it's an educational post, like explainer videos or perhaps a bit of text giving some sort of information away, then what is that going to be? What am I going to plan? How long is it going to be? Is it going to be through an email? Is it going to be on my Facebook page? Am I going to be omnipresent and put it in all sorts of different social media places? They're your day-to-day tactics. So from our vision, it drops down into our strategy, and then our strategy then determines what we're doing on a day-to-day or week-to-week basis. If you are consistent and you're able to develop trust in yourself, because we have to have trust in ourselves to actually deliver what we say we're going to deliver, if then you stay consistent over time, your business will just grow because people get used to seeing you. You'll funnel them into your sales funnel, they'll start to get to know you, and you'll be shared. And then these people suddenly start to get to know you and they like you, and then they develop trust. They are your future or your potential clients. That is a very basic look at business strategy. But if you've never done business strategy or looked at strategy, it will be giving you plenty of ideas right now for you to go away and start making a plan. Good luck with everything. If you need any help, you know where to get me. I'm on Facebook. It's called Grow Your Tutoring Business. That'll pop up. It's a group. We've got almost 1,000 tutors in there to date. And there's options for training and developing. We've got business strategy and finding new clients coming up. If you're interested, get yourself in the group and message me in there. I'm pretty much always available. I'm around enough to see messages on Facebook. And if you need anything, just reach out. Good luck with everything. I'll speak to you soon. See you later.